Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And breaking news this morning, a person is injured and a car riddled with bullets after a shooting this morning. We'll show you this scene in Durham.
And once again, there's rain on the radar this morning. It's not quite as heavy, but it's still a messy start this morning. I'll show you what you'll run into. And in a few hours, we'll get a sneak peek of the new Caesars Casino opening in Danville, Virginia. What you can expect when you visit. Jeff, what do you say? A little road trip?
Hey, just over the state line. Listen, it's an hour and a half away.
Some slots?
Yeah. Be there for breakfast.
Good morning, everyone. It is 4:30. It's a good bit that you're with us. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, we're not really rolling the dice today weather-wise. No. We know what we're going to get. It's going to be nasty to start with. Also some fog out there, Elizabeth, we saw coming in.
Definitely. It's messy. It's not quite as heavy as it was yesterday, but I feel like it's just as messy. There's fog that we're dealing with in places. There's some scattered showers rolling through. And even if there's nothing showing up on the radar overview, like, say, Stanford or down here into the Sandhills, there's some heavy drizzle that's happening out there. So it's a mess to start with. Scattered rain from Raleigh to Wendell to Wilson's Mill, up to Lewisburg, Chapel Hill, back to Pittsburgh. No matter where you are, we're going to see it. It's a 30% chance during the day today, all day long. And then once we get into the evening, we start to see our front getting closer to us, and that's really going to bump up our chances for rain tonight and tomorrow. You can see how wet it is here in downtown Raleigh right now. 55 degrees. It's a warm start. Our wind is coming out of the south, and temperature-wise, we're going to climb to around 70, but it's not going to be a very pleasant 70 degrees. For tomorrow, we have a weather alert day for the chance of some thunderstorms and some widespread rain and wind gusts. And we're going to get into more about what we can see tomorrow coming up. But more about what's happening out there on the roads right now. Kelsey Coffey is in the storm tracker. How does it look where you are, Kelsey?
Elizabeth, right now we're just seeing a little bit of light rain, but our main concern is wet roads. So right now we're getting up on I-40. We'll give you a live look now at road conditions. So you can't really see too much, but there we go. We see a little bit of ponding there on the side of the roads. Our main concern for your morning commute this morning is going to be road spray, especially from those overnight showers that we saw. So leave enough distance between you and the car in front of you just to make sure that you're safe. So give yourself a little bit of extra time in your morning commute just in case you need to slow down. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
The WRAL breaking news tracker, where a person was shot early this morning in Durham. The shooting happened at around 1 a.m. on Linwood Avenue. And take a look at this. This is what was left behind at the crime scene. This gray car with several bullet holes on the side of it. Now, we know one person who was shot was taken to the hospital and is expected to recover. We are still working with the Durham Police Department to find out who fired those gunshots. In Durham, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
A Raleigh store owner accused of stabbing and killing a customer will be back in court this morning. It happened at Taz's supermarket last year. Prosecutors say yesterday the store's owner, Tazir Zarka, caught Mark Garrity stealing a Gatorade, tried to keep him from leaving, and stabbed him. Zarka now faces a second-degree murder charge. He got out of jail on a $1 million bond last year.
A Wake County man is recovering this morning after he was hit by a car while he was trying to help other crash victims. This four-car crash happened last night just before 7:30. Troopers say an SUV ran a stop sign and was hit by that silver truck. Both vehicles were stopped on 1010 Road. Darren Quick then stopped to check on them, and as he was doing that, another truck hit the SUV in the road, which then hit him. Quick was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. He is expected to live. WRAL spoke with a woman who saw it all happen.
We're sitting there and we're looking at them and everyone was fine. And then out of nowhere, a truck came barreling like as fast as possible and not just like ran into them, but like ran over them.
A family friend started a GoFundMe that has raised nearly $4,000 for Quick's road to recovery. We are working to learn if the driver who hit Quick will face charges.
This morning, we are getting a first look at the new Caesars Virginia. The casino is just over an hour away from Durham and an hour and a half from Raleigh. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from along I-40 in Raleigh. Laura will get a better idea today of what people can expect.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Renee. And we know that we are just a week away from the opening of the new Caesars Virginia. With that, we know many North Carolinians have already made the trip here along I-40, that 1.5-hour trip from Raleigh to visit its temporary location there in Danville. Take a look at some of this video. This is a look at the process of getting the new facility up and running. You're taking a look at some of that construction process. Caesars Virginia is a $750 million development from Caesars Entertainment and the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. A guest will find a gaming floor with 1,500 slot machines, about 80 live dealer table games, a Caesars sportsbook, and a World Series poker room. The Caesars Virginia will become the third permanent resort casino to open in Virginia. Now, the doors of the resort, which also includes a 320-room luxury hotel rooms there, it's going to open around noon on Tuesday, December 17th. That's a delay from its original and initial opening date of this Friday. No reason or explanation for the delay, but still so many people excited for the opening date. We will have a crew out there today that will get a sneak peek of how things look later this morning. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
This afternoon, we'll get another update on Helene recovery. Now, we will learn how people in western North Carolina can get help repairing private roads and bridges damaged by the storm. And that includes damage to driveways, roads, or bridges leading to homes. FEMA officials will explain how residents can secure that federal funding. The update will come at 3 this afternoon.
Hundreds of people rallied on the steps of the state capitol building, voicing strong opposition to Senate Bill 382. Now, the bill would shift executive power in the state away from the incoming Democratic governor and other Democrats to Republicans. It also provides aid to people in western North Carolina. Around 300 protesters called for that assistance without undermining the power of the state's incoming elected leaders.
Really, this is all about trying to get power, and the people of North Carolina have spoken. The voters have spoken of what they wanted, and they're trying to overturn the wheel and the will of the voters and what we did.
Many who oppose the bill are unconvinced that it offers a true solution to help western North Carolina.
Drivers can expect some overnight road closures along I-40 in Wake County this week. We are talking about a section you see on the map here of this interstate near US 70, exit 309. That's in Garner. Crews will close 2 lanes at 9 o'clock each night through Thursday. The lanes should reopen by 5 a.m. each day. Drivers will be detoured, so this is so crews can do their bridge work in that area.
UNC is spending a lot of time with former New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick as it searches for its next football coach. Belichick says he has talked with UNC Chancellor Lee Roberts multiple times. Belichick coached in 9 Super Bowls, winning 6 of them. He dominated the NFL for 20 years, with only one other coach winning more games. The Tar Heels are looking for a coach to replace Mac Brown, but the search and the hiring process have been hampered by internal turmoil.
The board's taken a lot of shots at Bubba Cunningham, and now senior administrator tells me this process would be done. Not necessarily that Bill Belichick would be hired, but the search would be over, process wrapped up, if not for the Board of Trustees inserting themselves into this process.
Other potential candidates for UNC include Army's Jeff Monken and UNC interim coach Freddie Kitchens.
President-elect Donald Trump's pick to lead the FBI is Kash Patel in his meeting with Republicans as he works toward being confirmed. Trump's response when asked about Patel's call to go after people who unfairly targeted Trump.
And evacuations are underway in the Philippines after a massive volcanic eruption. The concerns this morning about toxic gas in the area.
And we'll give you this look, a live look in Apex. Right now, this is what you're getting into out there. Watch for areas of fog outside this morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will show us the trouble spots for our morning commute.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
442, taking a live look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. We have rain out there this morning. It's not quite the same amount of coverage that we had yesterday, but the difference is it's foggy, it's drizzly, so not as heavy, but almost as impactful as it was yesterday, just in the way it looks and feels. Typically, we'd be able to see downtown Raleigh looking from Dix Park, and you can see just how socked in we are. So what to watch for this morning? Definitely watch for some mist, some drizzle, some fog. The roads are wet. We're not likely to see any heavy rain, but it's still going to be kind of a messy, inconvenient type of a morning. We have a 30% chance of rain until this evening, and then it really starts to climb. It will be a warm afternoon, a high of nearly 70, but again, through the day, it'll be cloudy with some light rain.
Your time is 4:43 here in the WRAL Live Center, where we are keeping our eye in regards to this person right here. This is the suspected killer of the United Healthcare CEO, Ryan Thompson. This is Luigi Mangione, and we know a little bit more in terms of the charges that he's facing. Let's go ahead and bring those up here on the screen. So he's being charged with murder, 2 counts of second-degree criminal possession of a weapon, second-degree possession of forged documents, and third-degree criminal possession of a firearm. Investigators say they found several sheets of paper, essentially where he sort of admits to what he did and mentions United Healthcare by name. Of course, we're waiting to hear more specifics regarding those documents. And of course, we'll be looking at what his first court appearance will look like, and we'll monitor that here in the WRAL Live Center.
Chris, thanks. One of the most active volcanoes in the Philippines has erupted, forcing emergency evacuations. It's a large plume of ash that shot up about 2.5 miles into the sky yesterday afternoon. This is Mount Canlaon, and volcanic ash was falling on nearby villages there, prompting an evacuation order for around almost 90,000 people. Disaster response officials are monitoring the air quality because of the risk of contamination from toxic volcanic gas. This is the second time in 6 months that volcano has erupted.
New this morning, rapper Jay-Z stepped out last night amid allegations he raped a 13-year-old girl. The music mogul appeared alongside his wife, Beyonce, and his daughter, Blue Ivy, for the premiere of Disney's new film, Mufasa: The Lion King. Both Beyonce and Blue Ivy have roles in the film. Jay-Z's appearance comes one day after he was accused in a civil lawsuit of raping a teenager after an awards show with Sean Diddy Combs. The rapper has denied the allegations, saying the civil lawsuit is a blackmail attempt.
A Johnson County man caught recording under a woman's skirt at a Target store avoided jail time. This incident happened earlier this year at a Target in Greenville. 22-year-old Thomas Elliott pleaded guilty to 4 counts of secret peeping. He could have faced 8 years of jail time, but instead he was sentenced to 3 years of supervised probation and will not be required to register as a sex offender.
The Pentagon is once again pausing flights of its Osprey aircraft over safety concerns. The grounding of the fleet comes after an Osprey had to make an immediate landing during a training mission in New Mexico last month. No one was injured, and the incident is under investigation. The fleet was previously grounded following a deadly Air Force crash off the coast of Japan last November. All 8 airmen aboard the aircraft were killed. The grounding guidance was later lifted in March.
President-elect Donald Trump's pick for FBI director is getting support from Republicans on Capitol Hill. Kash Patel met with some Republican senators yesterday, making his case about why he should run the agency. Patel is a former federal prosecutor and national security official. Patel himself has been very critical of the FBI and has previously promised to go after the deep state, a group of people Patel and supporters perceive as enemies of Trump. In an interview with Meet the Press over the weekend, Trump said he wouldn't direct his Justice Department to pursue his political enemies.
If they think that somebody was dishonest or crooked or a corrupt politician, I think he probably has an obligation to do it. But
are you going to direct him to do it?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Patel, do you plan to investigate the...
In order for Patel to become the next FBI director, the current director, Christopher Wray, would need to either leave the post or be fired by Trump. Patel would also need to get through confirmation.
Tonight, the town of Knightdale will light up its town hall building in red. It will honor those who lost their lives to drunk drivers. The town is partnering with Mothers Against Drunk Driving North Carolina to encourage people to make responsible choices this holiday season. The building will be lit through New Year's Day.
In Cumberland County, today's the last day you can donate items for Hurricane Helene victims at Fayetteville Technical Community College. Next week, they will take that tractor trailer they've been loading up all the way to western North Carolina. The donations are being accepted through 5 tonight for that trip to Flat Rock. The supplies are being loaded onto a tractor trailer used in Fayetteville Tech's commercial driver program.
In Johnston County, a 4-mile stretch of I-95 will be dedicated today in honor of Carl Lamb, a legendary news broadcaster. His 60-plus year career spanned from 1958 until he retired in 2019. After Lamb died last year, the town of Smithfield asked the DOT to dedicate a stretch of 95 from mile markers 88 to 92 as Carl Lamb Highway. The dedication ceremony is set for this afternoon at 1 at Maharan Fertilizer, Inc. in 4 Oaks. It is 4:48, and we do have some scattered showers out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, day 2 of our rain stretch, Elizabeth.
Yes, we're not going to end up adding up a whole lot in our rain gauges out of this, but we are dealing with some just inconvenient, uncomfortable weather this morning. Temperatures are not too chilly, but we just have these light showers moving through. Streets are wet everywhere. There is fog that's developed, so visibility has dropped a bit, and it's just messy out there. We'll zoom in, and you can see some showers in the northern part of Durham County and Orange County, some showers down here in Johnston County, lifting over toward Wilson, as well as Rocky Mount and Red Oak. And we're just going to see this all day long, really. Check out Futurecast this morning, and you can see the light scattered rain that moves through. The thing about it is it's just not going to feel very dry, even in between the showers that are showing up here. There's going to be some drizzle, especially up through lunchtime. It may feel a bit drier during the afternoon, but by the time we get to the evening commute, the rain starts to roll in, and it will pick up. It will become heavy overnight tonight, and it will be heavy with our front tomorrow. This is a look at where the front is right now. We're on the warm side of this front, so everything is warm and moist currently. When the front itself comes through, stretched back here across the Mississippi Valley, that is going to usher in some colder air, but we'll likely have some thunderstorms with that as well. So it's going to feel more like a spring front coming through. Taking a look at downtown Raleigh right now, you can see how wet it is on Fayetteville Street. This is a look from our Jimmy V camera. Temperatures are in the mid-50s, pretty similar to what we saw this time yesterday. Visibility will be worse in the areas shaded in red. So from the Triangle area northward, and notice especially up around Roxborough and Durham, we drop it down to a quarter of a mile to a half a mile. That's going to be up until around, say, 8 or 9 o'clock or so. And then after that, it should improve somewhat. 70 for the high in Raleigh, 68 in Durham, and 74 in Fayetteville. And tomorrow is a weather alert day. We have a level 1 risk for severe storms. We have the potential for up to 1 to 2 inches of rain. So that rainfall tomorrow will be heavy and it will be windy. We'll have the chance of some wind damage tomorrow, especially in our eastern counties. I'll show you the outline for the severe threat coming up. Then it's much colder behind the front. Temperatures are back into the 40s, some overnight lows in the 20s. And we do have the chance of some showers Sunday right now for the holiday parade in Durham on Saturday. It looks dry.
Thanks, Elizabeth. A Ukrainian man fleeing his war-torn country has his cat to thank for saving his life. We're going to show you right now the moments the crews rescued the man and the cat from sub-zero temperatures.
And Severance is returning to the office for a new season. We'll show you the trailer for season 2. TikTok is working to block a law that could ban the app in the U.S. The app's owner, ByteDance, asked an appeals court to temporarily block the law while it appeals to the Supreme Court. The law gives the company until January 19th to sell the app to avoid the ban. Temporarily blocking the law would allow TikTok to remain on app stores in the U.S. until the conclusion of their appeal. TikTok is arguing the order to sell the platform is an unconstitutional violation of the First Amendment.
One of the busiest buildings in Durham is getting a major upgrade. The city gave us a look at the renovations to the Durham Station in the center of downtown. 14,000 bus riders use that space. WRAL's Monica Casey shows us how these upgrades will improve the experience for riders in the Bull City.
Increased capacity and a better transit experience. Those are the goals of the $26 million transformation of the downtown Durham station. Video captured by Drone 5 gives a look at the current facility. These renderings show what's coming. Canopies for shade, more restrooms and seating, and increasing the number of bus bays from 20 to 28.
As Durham continues to be one of the nation's fastest growing cities, we will have to continue to invest in our infrastructure.
2, 1.
Durham leaders say this project shows their commitment to public transit and environmental sustainability.
We need to make it easier, better, more convenient, and safer for people to walk, bike, carpool, and take transit to reach their destinations. And that requires us to make big investments.
Like I'm doing right now, I'm about to go for an interview.
Durham bus rider Dante Kirk tells me he wants a better transit experience from beginning to end.
They got lights at the stops and whatnot, but I like to see more improvement. I'm just trying to look out for our people as we try to do what we got to do at the end of the day.
In Durham, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
Tonight, Governor Roy Cooper will host a menorah lighting ahead of Hanukkah. This is video from last year's ceremony. It is happening this evening at 5 at the governor's mansion.
A Ukrainian man who fled his country to avoid the war has his cat to thank for saving his life. Rescuers found the man in Eastern Europe in freezing temperatures, and check this out. When they unzipped his jacket, they found the kitten, Peach, snuggled up inside. Rescuers say Peach saved the man's life by keeping him warm. Both the cat and the man are receiving treatment.
Today, we expect an announcement on whether monarch butterflies will keep federal protections. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service plans to add the insect to the threatened species list by the end of next year. Threatened species don't get all the protection that endangered ones do. Environmentalists warn the monarch populations are shrinking. The announcement today will kick off a public comment period. When that's over, the Wildlife Agency will decide how it will move forward.
All right, Severance Season 2 is clocking in. The first trailer for the second season takes us back to Lumen Industries. In the series, actor Adam Scott leads a team of employees who underwent a surgical procedure dividing their work and personal lives. In Season 2, the mystery of it all unravels even further in their search for answers. It premieres January 17th on Apple TV+. You could run into some fog this morning and scattered showers out there on your commute. This is a live look of the drive right along I-40 East in Raleigh right now. We are keeping an eye on those road conditions for you from the WRAL Storm Tracker.
Plus, people who know Luigi Mangione, the man charged with murdering United Healthcare CEO, are speaking out why they say his arrest comes as a shock.